So, my name is Harlan, Cartech. And just from hearing the stories tonight, I've really thought to myself of how lucky I really am. For being, what was it, let's see here, July 29th, 2007, 4 years ago. I was 20 years old, living the Buffalo boy, 20-year-old life, party, party, party. And well, I just kind of realized that you can't party, get on a four-wheeler, and expect to make it home. Because I crashed in a ditch and I was airlifted to St. Mary's in Duluth and put in medically induced coma for 3.5 weeks. Lo and behold, waking up in my parents' vehicle. This is kind of a weird story. Waking up in my parents' vehicle, being transferred from St. Mary's down to Sister Kenny. And I'm like, because I have my union carpenter, I looked at my dad, I'm like, we were working in Duluth a few months ago, weren't we? Why are we going back up there? Well, then I hear the story. And it's all a building process after that. Because, you know, like I'd go in, go out, go in, go out. Like a lot of, like they were talking about how your speech, you're to walking to, you know, not knowing where you are mentally. I went through that for 2 years, not knowing what I was going to do. And, you know, I hear story after story after story. And people told me, stay positive, build here, build there. And lo and behold, here, go back to school, become smarter. And that's what I did. I've been in school for 2.5 years now, working my way to the University of Minnesota, which I'll find out in 2 weeks, hopefully make it in. Pretty sure I will. And it's a lot different story than a lot of people have with a traumatic brain injury. But in a way, I am proud that I had it. You look at me, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but it enlightened me what I need to do with my life. And my life was going nowhere, just going in circles, being who I was, until I really looked at myself to who I wanted to be, and now that is where I'm going. And I think about like how people talked about issues, like what's an issue with anything that was going on, you know. I really can't see it. The only issue I had was going back to my more or less previous life of drinking, partying, getting myself into trouble. And to me, I would like to say that I think one of the biggest causes of traumatic brain injuries, not the biggest cause, but I think a lot of it's alcohol related. People don't understand what they're doing and getting themselves into trouble doing other things. And right now, I didn't expect myself to ever come to one of these. But I'm really glad I am, because I can finally say that, yeah, I had a traumatic brain injury and my life is better. Am I doing good speaking? Because I just got I have to brag it up a little bit, but I'm in a public speaking class right now at North Hennepin. I did a informative speech, and I got an A on it. I'm like, really? I look at because I'm also doing accounting too. I look at my assets, and there's not too many liabilities in my life right now. And what I'd really like to do is, anybody having an issue, I'd like to help them. I truly would. So I'm just giving it to everybody. You know, I don't know what to say right now. This is not something I ever plan on doing, but I'd like to help people. So.
Did the Brain Injury Association help you recover, or?
You know what? The thing is with that, I've been out for 4 years now since I had my accident and stuff like that. And my biggest thing was when I'd see those come, brain injury, I was like, that's not me. You know, I thought it was just perfectly normal. And like I said, I had 2 years of hard struggle of like coming back from all that stuff. But when I saw those come in the mail, I'm like, I don't even want to see that anymore. I used to get phone calls, and I told them to quit calling me. It was just more or less kind of depressing me.
So it's hard to accept your...
It was like I was telling, sorry, I forgot your name again.
Okay, Michelle.
Michelle, I told her it's taken me 4 years to finally accept it. And I suppose one issue that I would have had, but I did have, is the emotional aspect. Because remember, I went to funerals and stuff with friends that passed away, and I could never cry for like 2 or 3 years. I could never just let it all out. And now it's just secondhand. It's a really weird. The brain is funny.
Before the brain injury, you couldn't, and then.
No, before the brain injury, I was emotional.
Oh,
Afterwards, it came out. I didn't know if it was from the drugs that they induced me under, but like I could not let emotions out. It was just kind of weird. Excuse me. And I don't know what else to talk about right now. It's just a weird setting for me right now. It's one of those deals.
very cool.
But I'm glad I did come.
Good job.
Get an estimate on it. This happens to many people. A lot of people. What did you say, over 100,000? And like I've talked to people before that, you know, they don't have anything, but yet you could walk down the street and it could happen. You just always got to kind of wonder what you're doing. So
I'm glad you accepted it. Maybe, I mean, looks like you're going to be an advocate for the Brain Injury Institute, then maybe association, huh?
I don't know. I came back for a reason. That's all I can say. I enjoy my life now. So
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great experience to share.